fun fact about this 2000 Dodge Ram 1500 that is base model with the 3.9 V6 in it, it still has the wiring harness, an extra injector connector for the V8 model, and if you go and look at the multimeter, it is actually getting source voltage from the battery, so that means that the harness and the PCM is the same across the V6 and the V8 models, so you could do probably a direct swap on it.
Okay, so we have one of the injectors unhooked. Okay, we have our meter out. We're going to be testing resistance on the injector, and we already found our spec. What we're looking for is about 12 ohms, plus or minus 1.2. So I can get that in there. Around 13. So that's in spec. So right now we have the car on, and we have a noid light plugged into the injector harness, and you can see that when it flashes, it means that the PCM is sending the injector power. So just a cool little test to see if your circuit side is working on your injector. Earlier we mentioned that the vehicle uses the same harness, so we decided to plug a noid light into the other connector, and it does not actually flash, which means the vehicle's PCM must be flashed differently for the 3.9 than it is for the V8 models.
We have the picoscope hooked up to the injector over here, and right now it's just reading the waveform that is being created when the PCM grounds the injector. And as you can see right here, you have it drop down in voltage, and that's the signal being grounded, which would then pull the little pintle in the injector down to it actually inject fuel. And then the spike back up is the ground being broken, so that electromagnetic field is then basically turned off, and that spike in voltage is that magnetic field actually collapsing on itself, and it causes a spike in voltage. Normally it can be like upwards of like maybe 20-30 volts, maybe higher, but they normally have a Zener diode in there that actually limits that spike from causing any damage to any of the other circuits.
This is my 2009 Mitsubishi Lancer. We have our test pin probed in onto the driver circuit of injector 1. We're hooked up on the Pico. We have our waveform pattern right here. Okay. You can see our peak voltage is somewhere around 45, 50-ish. We go over here to our computer. We can check to see the actual waveform provided by Mitsubishi, and you can see that it's around 60, 70, but our reason we're off could be due to the fact that it's the attenuator and just, not working, or like not being super accurate. But you can see that our waveform pattern does look identical to the one that we have on our Pico right here. So now I'm gonna have Kyle give it some gas, and we can see how the waveform pattern will change. After redoing it, this is what our waveform pattern looks like at idle. Pretty small on time. And then if we go forward, slide, we can see this is when we were giving it a good amount of gas. And you can see that our on time is much greater because when it's grounded here, injectors are ground side controlled. So when you have 0 voltage, it means that the injector fired and is now, firing gas.